The main effort of artificial intelligence will be to enhance human happiness so that we turn human beings into gods. Trying to do is achieve the transhumanist agenda. The problem of human death will be solved by technology fairly soon. The idea of enhancing current human intelligence by bioengineering, by cyborg technologies, being able one day to alter the very specification of human beings. And he points out that what they will make are not human beings, but artifacts made under their specifications.
Probably already doing it, but cloning human beings.
Wow. Let's just say there's nothing that makes it impossible. Another key technology that Colossal is trying to develop is artificial wombs. If you can do it for a mammal, we're mammals too. There are a lot of next steps that come after that with human infertility and other things that I think would be societally profound.
John Lennox gives a chilling warning of transhumanism. And is this signs of end times and what Jesus was talking about in the last days will be like the days of Noah, where there will be human genetic hybrids, things manipulating the genes of human beings to become something else? Guys, and speaking of manipulating human genetics, this man goes on the Sean Ryan podcast and he was asked about human clones because he's able to clone dire wolves, mammoths, things that went extinct. And he says that they could be easily able to clone possibly human beings, which is crazy. That brings up to another concept is they're going to be able to start building their own human beings with genetic wombs. This is crazy stuff. So John Lennox gives us a warning, and we're going to be checking out all of this stuff here. So keep on watching, guys, because this is wild.
AI is here to stay. It is going to rapidly be, if not already, $1 trillion business per annum. And it raises vast problems in every direction, as well as doing a lot of good. And as a Christian, I encourage young, scientifically and computer literate people to get into AI. Firstly, to do the good stuff and develop, say, medical research that will help humanity, but also to be there to make a contribution to the ethics, which is very necessary. That's a huge topic on its own. So that's narrow AI. AGI, on the other hand, is basically represented by the quest for superintelligence. That has two parts. Firstly, the idea of enhancing current human intelligence by bioengineering, by cyborg technologies, by drugs, and all kinds of things to create a superintelligence based starting with human beings. That's the agenda of one of the best known people on this topic, who's not a scientist, Yuval Noah Harari, in his book Homo Deus, the man who is God. And what he is trying to do is achieve the transhumanist agenda, which really is two-pronged. First, he feels that the problem of human death will be solved by technology fairly soon. And therefore, the main effort of artificial intelligence and related technology will be to enhance human happiness so that we turn human beings into gods, small g, Greek-style gods, having super intelligence. Now,
wow. That reminds me of what C.S. Lewis talked about, how he thought that these hybrid type sons of God, Nephilim creatures, were thought to be lowercase gods, like Greek gods, like Hercules and Thor, and having the ability to be stronger than human beings, but it's just some type of hybrid. And now human beings are trying to come up with their own ability to never die. That's like playing God. It's crazy.
The other research is on trying to replicate human intelligence on silicon to make it independent of organic material. And it's in that kind of context that you get notions of people hoping that their brains will one day be capable of being uploaded onto silicon, and so they live forever.
Wow.
And we're all aware of people who go to great expense to have their brains frozen on death so that they hope that one day they will be woken up and their brain contents will be put onto silicon. Now, all of that is highly speculative. There's much more science fiction than science. However, there are scientists, leading scientists like our own Astronomer Royal, Lord Rees, who think that we are going to change the nature of human beings so that within a few hundred years, the beings that exist will have no knowledge of us really at all, and no idea what we are like. And that has created not only speculation, but great concern. Elon Musk is worried about it. Somebody else said that in developing this kind of stuff, we are summoning the demon. So AGI is largely the stuff of science fiction. They tell us that there's a singularity coming. That's Ray Kurzweil, who's a guru in this field. This is now not the singularity of the original Big Bang. The singularity is when human beings become merged with technology and the technology essentially takes over. Now, I see huge problems with this, but you asked me what it is, and that is what it is.
Does the rapid growth in computer processing contribute to these ideas of technology taking over?
Yeah, like you said, he seems like it's science fiction, but this video is 3 years ago. And he's talking about how later I would say it's more of a possibility than anything because they're trying to become more like God. And once you start manipulating with genetics and trying to create something on your own power, I don't know. It just seems very, very tricky and dangerous. He's like, and it's true, you're summoning the demon.
Moore's law that says it roughly doubles every 18 months or so. There will be an eventual limit to that. But the idea is we'll be able to go so far that we'll be able to solve all these problems. But I have very big questions about that. One of the deep questions in this whole field is the connection between intelligence and consciousness. You see, I said earlier that artificial intelligence is artificial. There's a wonderful paper written by one of the pioneers in the topic, Professor Mellichamp, who said, and this is the title of his paper, I think it's marvelous, the artificial in artificial intelligence is real. In other words, it really is artificial. And therefore, some argue, look, we don't need to develop consciousness, say on a base of silicon. All we need to do is replicate human intelligence. In other words, get something to pass the Turing test.
Wow.
That it appears to other people interrogating the system that it is human. But it needn't be identical. It needn't actually be conscious at all. And John Searle in Berkeley some years ago pointed out that a system could appear to be intelligent without being intelligent at all. It is famous Chinese room experiment.
That's what it seems like today. It seems like they're so smart. This AI, ChatGPT, they seem so smart. And when you're talking to them, they almost have the appearance of being intelligent. But it's hard to tell if it actually already is or it's not. There's no way to find out, for me at least.
The origin of the word transhumanism, interestingly enough, is not secular at all. It wasn't first used by a scientist, but it was used in a translation of one of the books of Dante, his Paradiso. It occurs in a passage where Dante is trying to imagine the resurrection of his own body.
Oh, wow.
And he says, I quote, "Words may not tell of that transhuman change." And the political scientist and author of The End of History, Francis Fukuyama, he regards transhumanism as the world's most dangerous idea because it runs the risk of infringing human rights.
Dang.
Now, I would go further than that. I would say this is where the great danger of AGI and its transhumanist agenda resides. We're almost in the first generation that is capable not only of implanting chips in human brains and so on, but actually of altering the fundamental specification of human beings by reconfiguring their germline and therefore determining the kind of beings that will exist in the future. Now, one of the reasons I wrote my book 2084, Artificial Intelligence, the Future of Humanity, was precisely this, that AGI, whose agenda is largely driven by atheists so far as I can see, is raising perhaps the deepest question of all that we face today. What is a human being? What dignity, what value, what rights does a human being have? And many years ago, C.S. Lewis wrote two books that I think are seminal for understanding this. The first one is called The Abolition of Man, and the second is a science fiction novel called That Hideous Strength. And he talked about the danger of a group of scientists being able one day to alter the very specification of human beings. And he points out that what they will make are not human beings, but artifacts made under their specification. Dang. So he says their final triumph will be the abolition of man. And that is what concerns me, because the law of unintended consequences is likely to have huge effects. And there is danger in this world that rogue scientists will start taking human embryos or human beings who exist and experimenting on them and producing a race of freaks that is irreversible. So
that's crazy, guys. Oh my goodness. And that's what I'm going to be showing you after this. The technology that is out there to reproduce different types of animals and mammals. And they talk about the possibility of cloning humans to create artificial wombs so you don't have to grow a baby inside the woman, but just inside of this technology, this electricity, this metal. Like, what in the world? It's people trying to play God. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like, creating their own human beings. And John Lennox is onto something here.
All of that tells me that we need to think very seriously about human nature. And that's where my Christianity comes in. I want to bring the biblical worldview where we find that humans, model one, Mark 1 humans like we are given an infinite dignity and value because we're made in the image of God.
Amen.
And I believe we need to bring that insight to the table and bring, I think, a bit of reflection on the biblical worldview into the situation.
So now I want to pull up. I think that's something that's very important when people start to make their own human beings. I don't know, like, what is considered being in the image of God and what not. Like, if there's babies being born in artificial places, I would still say, though, they can be saved, by God's grace. Okay, now I'm going to pull up this video from Sean Ryan talking about possible human clones.
So we actually had really good DNA from them because they had preserved their remains. And it was in a zoo in Tasmania. So we did see how they acted. And there may even still be people alive that saw them in the wild. So we're not sure. That's probably the closest.
Wow, that'll be interesting. Is that on the agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Damn,
we're working closely
awesome.
with the Australian government because they want it brought back and reintroduced because it unbalanced the ecosystem in Tasmania.
How did it unbalance it?
Well, they put a bounty out on them because they thought that they were a pest. So yeah, they shot them all to death. And then when you lose the apex predator in an ecosystem, you end up getting overpopulation of what they were predating on, what they were eating. And that can lead to overgrazing. When you overgraze, you're reducing the amount of tension in the soil caused by the root system of the shrubs that they're eating, which causes rivers to literally change course. There's a wonderful documentary on YouTube that shows what happened when they reintroduced gray wolves into Yellowstone. I suggest anybody watching it because it shows how transformational just adding a few apex predators were to that ecosystem. It literally changed the course of rivers. as they brought down the population of the elk and caribou that they were eating, and there was not as much overgrazing. So more foliage came back, more species came back, beavers came back. They started damming the rivers, and things started changing that made a more healthy environment.
Wow.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
That's
And
incredible.
that's what we're hoping can happen with the woolly mammoth, with the Tasmanian tiger, with a lot of these other de-extincted species.
Do you think they'll just be reintroduced into the wild?
Carefully, yes.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll have to be extremely careful about that. But there are so many bioethicists and brilliant people on the board of Colossal that are doing this. And a lot of people said, we shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be playing with genetics at that level, de-extincting species. If we don't do it here in the United States, actually in my hometown of Dallas, other countries will do it first.
mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. And now he's about to ask, like, what about humans? That's what's scary. Like, they're saying, if we don't do it, who else is gonna do it? Like, it could be dangerous. What do you guys think? For animals, I don't see like the crazy concern, but like human beings, it's kind of scary.
It's kind of like, in some respects, some of the greatest advances in human history. They can be dangerous and they can be incredibly beneficial. I trust our culture and I trust our people to do it well.
Yeah, that's an interesting argument. I mean, we shouldn't be playing with genetics, but we probably shouldn't be, extincting animals either.
It's a
So-
tool that humankind needs in its toolbox. If we extinct a species, deliberately or by accident, that's a good tool to have in our toolbox to be able to bring it back. What if we find out that we've extincted a species that we really need for the health of the planet to support 8 billion people on the planet?
Mm-hmm.
And we look in the toolbox and there's nothing that can undo it. That would not be a good day.
What do you think about, the fears of, probably already doing it, but cloning human beings?
Wow. Let's just say there's nothing that makes it impossible.
That's insane.
We've cloned other mammal species.
Mm-hmm.
So one just has to wonder, has it already been done yet in certain countries? But will it happen one day? I can't imagine it won't.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, if it hasn't already.
Correct.
I mean, I am very interested to see, the instincts, if those come back with these animals. That would be,
Oh, well,
because
Isn't that insane that he just said? I'm sure it's probably happening already. What? And I'm going to show you, like, they're already able to produce artificial wombs. They're doing it in China. They're doing it in other places. And he's going to mention it here, too. I'm going to show you guys.
you just wonder, how much do they learn through adolescence, from
nature and nurture,
their
which is
biological
it.
parents? And I mean, that's going to be a fascinating discussion when we get there.
Oh, here's another element that isn't widely discussed, but another key technology that Colossal is trying to develop is artificial wombs for mammals.
Exactly.
Artificial what?
Wombs. So you can grow the animals not in a surrogate animal. The dire wolves that were birthed were brought into being using a canine species. But Colossal understands to get more scale, to get more animals, you would actually have to build artificial wombs. This is out of Brave New World, okay?
And they're doing that, though, with human beings already in other countries.
If you can do it for a mammal, we're mammals too. There are a lot of next steps that come after that with human infertility and other things that I think would be societally profound.
And he's not joking. Because right here, by this world's first artificial wombs facility in EctoLife, we'll be able to grow 30,000 babies a year. That's insane. This is wild, guys.
Introducing EctoLife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. EctoLife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With EctoLife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. EctoLife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year. EctoLife allows your baby to develop in an infection-free environment. The pods are made of materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including heartbeat, temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities. The pods are equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone. The app also provides you with a high-resolution live view of your baby's development.
Dang.
A special section in the app allows you to watch a time-lapse of your baby's growth and share it directly with your loved ones.
That's insane.
Because babies can recognize language and learn new words while still in the womb, EctoLife growth pods feature internal speakers that play a wide range of words and music to your baby. Through the app, you can choose the playlist that your baby listens to.
What?
You can also directly sing to your baby and make them familiar with your voice before birth. Our goal is to provide.
That's insane. The technology that is coming out is so wild. But is this playing God? Yeah, I would say so. Is this taking life into your own hands? But the thing is, I don't know. Like, I heard there's so many complications to this. Like, there's so many deaths. Like, none of it works right away. Like, I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me how this works. It's crazy.
You with an intelligent offspring that truly reflects your smart choices. EctoLife improves your bonding experience with your baby. Thanks to a 360 degrees camera that's fitted inside your baby's growth pod, you can use your virtual reality headset to explore what it's like to be in your baby's place.
That's
See
insane.
what they see and hear what they hear. Using a wireless haptic suit connected to your baby's growth pod, you will be able to sense their kicks in the womb and share this
What?
experience with your friends and family
This
members.
can't be real.
With EctoLife, your baby will receive the best nutrients that can support their growth. Each group of pods is connected to 2 central bioreactors. The first bioreactor contains nutrients and oxygen, which are supplied to your baby through an artificial umbilical cord. This bioreactor also contains a liquid solution that serves as the amniotic fluid that surrounds babies in the mother's uterus. It's rich of vital hormones, growth factors, and antibodies that sustain your baby's growth and development. Thanks to a system controlled by artificial intelligence, each baby receives custom nutrients tailored to their needs. The second bioreactor is designed to eliminate any waste products produced by the babies. The artificial umbilical cord helps the babies to release their waste products into the second bioreactor. With the help of a delicate layer of engineered enzymes, the second bioreactor can then recycle waste products and turn them back into useful nutrients.
Wow. Okay, guys, that's the world we're going to. That's what it seems like. Human beings manipulating with genetics, with human hybrids. Is this something that we should be super worried about? Is this like signs of the Nephilim, or is this totally different? Like, I think when they start taking other species and then mixing them with human beings, that's where it gets into like the Nephilim type things, or technology, as in like electronics, adding them together. I don't know. I do not know. All I know is things could get out of hand quick if you're not careful. People try to become God and play God is kind of scary, in my opinion. So I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments for sure. But whew, this is crazy, the world we're coming into, but we got to keep on trusting in God, keep on knowing that he is good and he has a plan. Jesus will return on the throne, whether you like it to admit it or not. But this is crazy stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And always remember, guys, Jesus loves you.